Hello, these are artificial intelligence-generated voices, but the words read were created solely by humans using artificial intelligence for some of the writing, as well as Microsoft's Clipchamp to generate the voices and the podcast recordings.
Welcome to today's podcast on Emergency Support Function Number 12, Energy. I'm Mike Prasad, a certified emergency manager from the Center for Emergency Management Intelligence Research, joined again by my pediatric colleague Patricia Frost, Vice Chair of the National Pediatric Disaster Coalition. Today, we're tackling how a reliable energy supply is essential to keeping children safe, warm, and connected, especially in emergencies. We are going to dive into how power outages and power shutoffs impact families and what schools, childcare, and parents can do to become better prepared.
Thanks for having me. Let's face it, no matter where we are, if the power goes out, it sets off a series of major disruptions. This is especially true for families of children with disabilities and complex medical needs who rely on powered devices at home. Ventilators, feeding pumps, and other life-sustaining equipment. All families are dependent on a stable power supply to keep their children safe and well cared for where they live. And this is especially true as more children are leaving hospitals and now living with advanced care needs at their own homes.
That's so true. For these families, a power outage isn't just an inconvenience, it can be life-threatening. And as we've seen, public safety power shutoffs are becoming more common in high-risk areas to prevent wildfires and even adverse impacts from winter storms. These shutoffs have significant downstream impacts on families with children who have disabilities or technology-dependent needs. As most emergency managers know, power and the energy needed to generate it are not only an essential emergency support function, but they are also a community lifeline.
Absolutely. And we've heard from many families about the anxiety they feel when they know a power shutoff is coming. Suddenly, they're dealing with the emergency at hand and the added risk of losing power to critical medical devices. This can mean scrambling to find a location with a reliable power source, which might not be accessible if community centers or hotels nearby are also affected by the shutoff. And rural and island communities experience a significant sense of isolation without power.
Right, and with wildfire season lasting longer each year, families can face these shutoffs for days at a time, sometimes with very little notice. Schools, childcare facilities, and healthcare providers also need to be aware of these risks and plan how to assist these families. Communities could benefit from making solar solutions with portable batteries or generators accessible to families of technology-dependent children.
Yes. And that's where community preparedness programs come in. These programs need to address the needs of children with disabilities, ensuring there are mechanisms for families to access backup power resources. Schools and childcare centers should also have power outage plans that include technology-dependent children, so that parents feel reassured that their children are safe when away from home.
Welcome back. And Pat, there are steps families can take as well. Parents of children who rely on powered devices should create an emergency power plan, know the nearest places with generator-powered spaces, and have a list of backup resources they can reach out to. It's also important to prepare kids for power outages, teaching them to stay calm, avoid hazardous areas, and, if old enough, understand what their devices need to keep working.
That's a great point. Many community programs now include plans to help families access portable power sources. But the demand can quickly exceed the supply in widespread outages. And for families dealing with recurring public safety shutoffs, the financial burden of keeping devices powered and finding safe shelter alternatives adds up quickly.
Exactly. It's a challenging issue for sure. And it brings up another concern: what to do when the power finally returns. Checking food safety is essential for everyone, but it's even more critical for families managing health-sensitive diets. After an outage, perishable foods in the refrigerator and freezer may no longer be safe, which can be especially risky for kids with specific dietary needs or conditions.
Yes, and let's not forget generator safety. When families do have generators, it's essential they're used safely, outside and far enough from windows and doors to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. They must not be wired directly into the house wiring. Either use extension cords from appliances directly to the generator, or better yet, get an electrician to install a transfer switch at your home. And it's crucial to have working carbon monoxide or CO detectors in the home, especially in extended outages when people rely on generators for hours or even days.
It's a complex challenge, and we're seeing how critical it is to support these families with plans that keep their children safe, whether they're at home or in a community setting. In areas prone to power shutoffs regardless of the threat, communities might consider setting up resilience hubs with reliable power for families who need a safe place for their children during outages.
That's a wonderful idea. And as more kids rely on technology for their daily care, these hubs could become a real lifeline. Ensuring power restoration plans prioritize locations like schools, healthcare facilities, and community centers is essential to helping families navigate these new challenges.
Thank you, Pat. And for those listening, if you have a child who relies on medical technology, now is the time to prepare. Look into backup power sources, check with your local community programs, and create a plan that keeps your family connected and safe. Next up in our podcast series is ESF number 13, which covers public safety and security. Please use #PrepForTheKids when amplifying or extending any of these social media posts, so we can help track them. Thanks for listening.
Please visit us on the web at npdcoalition.org. Our vision is to support the development of a unified medical and health emergency management community to prepare, respond, and recover from emergencies and disasters.